welcome back to another episode of the Infinite Podcast. You may notice some things that are a little bit different around here. It's been a little while since we've been live. I've had some stuff going on in life. There's been a lot of things happening. So, yeah, we haven't been able to go live recently, but we were never going away. And we are back with some guests this week. Before we do the intros to the guests, to Holly, there is a few changes. Unfortunately, Umbra is going to take some time away from the show. I'm hoping he'll be back, and we'll keep you updated on anything that changes with that. And Donte is just not feeling great this week, so he's having a day off. Hope he gets better soon. And Bushido's got a camera. Welcome back, man. It's been a while, and we have never seen you on camera, so this is a bit trippy. How's your week? What have you been up to? What have you been playing? How's things?
I've been all over things have been good. Things have been good. I can't complain. Been all over the place with games. I'm trying to find that next game, but looks like I'm not going to be able to because Outer Worlds 2 is right around the corner. So I guess I'm gonna keep fooling around with the games I have. I've been meaning to finish Refratazio, but for some reason, I think the gaming mood I'm in, I can't keep playing it. It's not really, I'm not really feeling it. But anyway, I've been playing some more Wu Chang. I finished the game already, but there's some bosses I learned that I didn't beat, so I'm going back to beat them now. And I was with you and KY Bobby today playing Arc Raiders. And it's that's a game to me that's fun with people. But there's still some things they probably need to work out with the game as far as like balance is concerned. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out during the slam this weekend. I plan on getting back on, but I'm not getting on by myself. If I can't get two other people, I know I'm not getting on. I'm not getting on randoms. I'm not getting my pockets looted, picked, or whatever term you want to use. And Helldivers 2, which is always a really good freaking fun time. A lot of laughs when you're playing with your mates.
Ollie loves it. Speaking of Helldivers 2, and Bobby Hawk, first time on the show, but long time supporter. Really appreciate all the support over the years, man. Welcome to the show. How you been? What have you been up to? Your resident pony is on the show.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I'm very shocked.
How you been? What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I just recently got done playing Ghost of Yotai, and I've been working through I've been working through Borderlands 4 and also Persona 3 Reloaded and some other ones. And I still got to work out through a review copy of my Dying Light the Beast. Been a little...
you got that one too?
Yes.
From that guy?
Yes.
Oh, who's that guy? I need to know who that is.
Good. He made a friend in the right time.
Oh, okay.
I did. I swooped in and bugged the shit out of him. Oh, sorry. Bugged him. Sorry.
No, you're good here.
Okay.
You can swear. This is Australian based. We swear a lot. Well, I swear a lot.
Yeah, I forgot sometimes YouTube has like a certain guideline between swearing, so I was like, yeah,
Not for my channel.
But yeah, there's definitely some good games.
Nice. Ghost of Yotai, I do want to get your sort of opinion on that, but we'll come back to that. Holly, it's been a while. How you been doing? You're looking fantastic. Background looks amazing. What's been going on?
Thank you. I'm good. I have been super, super busy. I had uninvited tenants in my house, the raccoons, and I finally got rid of them. But now I have a massive loan to take out to fix my house. So things have been a little stressful. But beyond that, I have been playing. What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of stuff. I've been super duper excited for Arc Raiders. That has been one of my most anticipated games of the year since I played it on the test. Thanks to Bobby giving me the code to get into the closed beta last time. And I got in like the last day just for 2 or 3 hours, but I was hooked in that amount of time. And it's been one of those games where I've been like waiting. Like it's in my mind, like I can't wait for this game to come out, right? And I don't even necessarily like love love extraction shooters, but I love this one. This one has just a really cool balance. It's hard, but
That's an understatement.
it's just really, it's really difficult. But I'm really, really excited. I hope random matchmaking is good for when friends aren't around, like Bushido was saying,
I
right?
don't
Like
want to touch that. Yeah, I'll let you tell me later on how that worked out.
Yeah, because I do like to play games like that with friends, right? Just so you can communicate easier. But some games, it's okay, right? If you can jump in with randoms. Not all of them, but some of them. So I'm hoping this is one of them. But I plan on playing Keeper. I've been playing a lot of spooky games. I played Cabin Factory the other day, which was really good on stream. And actually, it just launched on consoles, I think, today for $2.99. So if you haven't played Cabin Factory, it's this little horror game. It's really good. And I've been playing through some other random horror games.
That's the one where you stand at a thing and you press a button and a cabin comes down, right? And then you got to inspect it to see if it's haunted or if it's not haunted, and then you pass that one out and you set another one down.
That one. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's Palpy right there. Hey, Palpy, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you, man.
Shout out to look at that. Holes in my shirt. This is my round the house shirt. As you can tell.
Sometimes
I dressed up for the show.
You put on your fancy clothes. I got you.
I put on my Sunday best. You may also notice I don't have a beard. I had to make
Seawolf got you. Why your beard is messed up? Seawolf got a reason why.
I had to make some changes because of work sort of purposes and stuff. So it is what it is. It'll come back. I will grow that thing back. What have I been playing? Seeing as you asked, I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. Obviously, Battlefield 6 dropped, and then since Battlefield 6 dropped, I've been playing it. There's a lot of issues I have with that game, but none of them are the core gameplay tenets of the game. It's all around progression. That's the problem. It is slow, like molasses slow to get anything in that game, to unlock anything.
So playing while doing that.
And there's
sorry, the mute thing is over here. Someone was trying to get a hold of me on PlayStation, so that's my bad. I forgot to mute.
I just muted Bobby so that he could have his convo and then jump back in. But so I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. I'm not quite I'm not quite sold on Arc Raiders yet. I don't know, man. It's just, it seems really slow. Maybe it'll grab me, but with extraction shooters sort of types, I'm more of a Helldivers 2 kind of guy. I think, you drop in, it's action.
Not an extraction
maybe
shooter.
that's what's destroying in our experience, because we're used to dropping in, you die, you go pick up your stuff, and then, nobody's threatening to take it. I think I that's what I've been thinking about today. That Helldivers has kind of ruined the feel of, what we would have if that game was out first, So
Holly, you don't think it's an extraction shooter? Helldivers?
I think it's preschool extraction shooter. Because there really isn't, the only thing you extract with are samples, and if you don't have the samples, you could still just keep going. It's not really, I mean, it's an extraction shooter in the most basic form of the definition, but I don't really feel like it's an actual there's no real penalty for not extracting. There's no, there's
outside
nothing really
stuff,
and there's nothing huge to gain by extracting with the samples. I mean, I know you can unlock some stuff in the menu, but there's no risk reward really with it. That's my.
Oh, there is definitely. I mean, once you get into the really higher levels with Helldivers, if you drop your samples halfway across the map and you're gonna have to fight your way through swaths of bugs, then you got to make that decision. Do I leave that behind because I got this, or do I go after? There is a little bit, but I 100%. I get what you're saying. It's probably really
she's saying something different besides that. I think she means if we find better weapons, the high risk is to go out there with nothing like we did today, and a couple of times, and then bring back something good, but without somebody being
And it's
there.
only PvP. It's only PvE too, right?
To ambush
It's
you like the
not-
Dark Zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
We
I'm
got
gonna give it a
ambushed. We got. I mean, I'm going to give it a chance, but the problem I have is like, if I like, how do I level up a weapon and then I take that weapon into the game? I can't stick that weapon in my safe pouch, right? So I can't lose it, right? So if I like build up this weapon and I get like a super rare weapon or whatever, and then I go I go out there and I get jacked, like we got jacked today. It's terrible. We didn't even know.
That was ridiculous. Oh my god.
What the hell was going on? All of a sudden, we're just getting shot, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yes. There's a serious learning curve in that game.
Well, that's kind of the point, right? There is a learning curve.
Yeah.
So
no,
like,
it's a little bit more than like what I expected. Like
but you only played like you shouldn't be good at a game in one play session. You know what I mean?
Understanding like the format. Like we played like I said, the Dark Zone. You had guys who were still good enough that they could run around by themselves and then come back and meet you. You cannot do that in this game. If you run into two guys, even if it's 2v2, if you're not paying attention, they could take you. And if it's 3v3, yeah, you could take the two guys out. But those guys, man, they came in there and systematically took me, Riskit, and then Bob out. No, I'm sorry. Bob was already dead. That's why we died. Yeah.
I've never like the Dark Zone is ridiculous. Like in Arc Raiders, I feel like you have a chance, and the Dark Zone you don't have a chance.
Right, I do agree.
You don't have a chance.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that to some degree. I got to see a little bit more, but yeah, I got to see.
Depending on the level and division as well. They also have like more higher powerful.
Right, that's why. Yeah.
So you have to be very
careful.
I sort of found the division you could do it. You could just level up and get a build, right? So it's whether they're like a higher they've got a higher level weapon than you, or like there was meta weapons as well. So like you could, if you had the right build, you could wax out.
You could melt somebody.
People.
Yeah.
I don't see the build like the build in the building, and I don't know, because it's only been a couple of hours. We didn't even really explore the menus properly. There's a lot of stuff that's locked out, and we haven't spent enough time with it. But I don't know, it looks good. Like the graphically looks good. I like the feel though, right? Of and I also like the how you don't fight. I mean, we had to tell Bushy this, but you don't have to fight everything. Like you're like sneaking. You try to sneak around, like, and like
you shoot at one drone one time, and now you just
that's it. Game over. Game over, man.
For the rest of your life, man.
The grenade launcher one, or
no, we didn't hit that one. No, we didn't get that one yet. We got the one that would shock you.
You're in for a surprise.
The taser. Oh yeah, I bet the taser, and then the regular bullets. And I figured to myself, because I'm a loot guy, I'm gonna shoot this one down, and I'm gonna take the loot from this one to help build whatever else needs to be built. And so I'll just shoot it inside one of the pellet areas, and it'll spin around and this and that and this and that. No, those things they get themselves back together pretty well.
Yes,
they get themselves back together pretty well, and then start after you.
If you have the one that calls in reinforcements, that one could be a pain in the butt.
We didn't get that one yet. We didn't get that. Thank God we did. No, that's right. We did. That's right. In the first one. That's right. You was this is where we learned that you have to stick together. Riskit was like 100 kilometers from us, and me and Bob is back here trying to hide from the one I shot at, and Riskit's up there. Riskit wonders why this giant robot drops down, and these other little drone or robots or whatever drop down with him. And I'm like, wow, you really have to be stealthy in this game, and at times
it's got a real War of the Worlds sort of feel to it. You know that you know the robots that got the like octopus leg dude that was like walking through. I got my ass kicked after you two died. I was I had no chance, and I was running. And you literally don't. You basically got only a few shots before it drops you. Look, I might get it, but it's generally I'm more of an action guy. You know, like I like to always be shooting at shit. I like to be able to kill stuff, right? I like to be able to be killed, right? But I also like to be able to kill. I don't always like to be sneaking unless I'm playing Assassin's Creed or something. But this may grow on me. Like, you know, if it's the reward, that's the thing, right? It's the risk
I
reward.
don't like
so
losing everything though. I don't like
Yeah, man.
losing everything. That's the one aspect. I figured like every other
that's why you have
game.
the 3, but not every game even has those 3 security spots. Like,
Right, but those 3 security spots, I
that's
can't put
good.
my weapons there though. I
Yeah,
can't. Yeah, if I could put the
Only
weapons in
items.
there.
Yeah.
We say, Bobby.
Only the items you can place onto the
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I could put those weapons, new weapons I find, that would be great, but I can't do it.
I like the chicken, but I'm wondering about the build craft. You know what I mean?
I
like,
love the chicken thing. Yeah.
What's going to be the build craft? Like, is that going to be your? So you're going to level up, right? And that's going to be how you get stronger. It's got that rogue. The extraction shooters do that. They're like, it's got that roguelike element where you get stronger and you go back and try to get stuff, right? So I would say that there's definitely roguelike elements in this, or maybe a roguelite. But then, so what can you build craft? You can't build craft your weapons because you might lose those. And then obviously as you go and you get higher loot, well, but what if you lose it? Then I'm going to be extra pissed,
Then you just build
right?
another one the next time you come back. I mean,
Well,
it's annoying,
only
but
if you find the blueprint for it. Like if you don't have the blueprint, you pretty much you're going to be forced to find it again.
Oh, so you can get a
you want to
blueprint
find
for
the
it.
blueprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could get a blueprint for it. Okay,
so then you can, so you it's going to be interesting. Like I'm going to play it for a bit to sort of figure it all out.
Same,
but it also seems like one of those games that can really soak up a lot of your time. You know what I mean? Like you can get in and out quick, and that's cool. But like it seems like one of those games that might be all encompassing. You stop playing other things, which is Battlefield 6 for me at the moment. I must say, I'd stop playing Helldivers, stop playing everything else. Haven't finished Kronos. There was another game I bought that I can't even remember what it is. I wasn't going to get Borderlands 4 because I knew that Battlefield 6 was going to come. COD coming down the line. There's so much. I don't know, man. I don't know if Arc Raiders, I think you said this last night, but I don't know if Arc Raiders is dropping it might have been Bobby, is dropping at a good time. You know what I mean? It's dropping, around Battlefield 6, around COD. Helldivers is just sort of, as much as Holly loves it, it's doing pretty well. Like there's a lot of people playing that. So I don't know. There's a lot of these sort of types of newer live service type games, and Battlefield 6 is one that are dropping around this period. So it feels to me like they might be hamstringing their audience. I think like a February release would have been perfect for this if they waited and let that sort of go out. But obviously, then GTA 6 is coming down the line.
Yeah, it's a
tough market out there for games, man. You can understand why things are like they are. Look, that is one of the topics that we sort of jumped to because we all had a bit of a go at Arc Raiders. Holly, have you played it this time around? Did you jump in last night? I saw you on. You were on Fallout 70s. Fallout 76. But
Fallout 76. It's the Mothman.
Did you actually jump in and play last night?
It didn't open till this morning for us. Remember?
Okay.
It wasn't early. Yeah, she's right.
But Bushy was in.
Well, Bushy doesn't.
Yeah,
work.
I got in. No, even though you are correct, how do you know?
You might work, but you didn't work today if you were on.
No, Bushy's retired. He's a retired.
Retired
CIA spy.
Yes.
I knew it.
There you go.
For the KGB. Yes. For
KGB
CIA
spy.
And KGB. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's
Show me your
double agent. Show me up. That's like the UK at the minute. Show me your papers. Xbox. We're going to jump to our first topic. Before we do, please hit the like button, share us out. We go live whenever the hell we can at the minute. And also, I'll jump to Lotus Esprit. Thank you very much for jumping in and becoming a member. And then also gifting a membership to Neve. I think Neve is the way you pronounce it. Shout out to Lotus, longtime supporter of the show. And then also, Lotus said, and this is untrue, that blue number can do no wrong, period. That is
Why did you
untrue.
have to put a clarifier on a factual statement?
Hey, Mav, I'm going to say Riskit.
Yeah, so look, Bushido, what's more dangerous, Riskit or the robots? Yeah. I've been pretty good in Helldivers, man. I've been pretty good. Like, I haven't been killing
Helldivers,
people.
no. Yeah, Helldivers is fine.
So
But
a lot
then-
of team killing. That's good to know.
But then no one runs, their head in front of my bullets. Actually, I will say, shout out to, I don't know what you call him, like he's Icon X on Xbox and something else.
Ion Storm. Ion Storm. Are
Okay.
you talking about him?
Icon. Icon X.
Okay.
I was playing with him. He literally did run into one of my bullets. Like I was shooting at this bug, and I put it on Twitter, and he ran his head straight past, and just was gone. Is instant.
I
don't believe you.
Bob killed me 3 times like that, and Bob said it was an accident. I said, Bob, getting shot inside the head with a shotgun the first time is an accident. The second time is like a occupational, hazard. I said third time seems personal. And out of 5 matches, he shot me in the head.
Yep, that's aiming. You can't do that with that.
Exactly.
But you can see it on Twitter. I posted it on Twitter just so that you can see, like, he literally is running through. Yeah. And as I'm shooting, he's like, head gets hit, and then he's just down.
That's different, though. He said for democracy. Exactly, for democracy.
I think that's him, the Nine-Tailed Fox. He's got 3 different names. He's got like a name on Twitter, a name on Xbox, name on YouTube. Okay. I think. But yeah, guys, hit the like button, share us out. We are going to talk about the new Xbox being in development. So this is something that was happening whilst we weren't going live. And I was sort of watching this and people talking about how the Xbox has been. It was initially rumored that the Xbox, the new Xbox, was development had shut down and wasn't happening. Look, before I say this as well, I'm not a leaker, and I just occasionally will hear some things, and there are some people that I can ask things, and I don't always get an answer. In fact, very rarely do I get an answer, but I did get an answer this time. So while this was all happening, I reached out to a couple of people just to see if this is true, and I got confirmation from one person who I 100% trust knows what they're talking about. They said that it wasn't true, but obviously I wanted to track down a second source that I know factually would know as well. The other one does as well, and they responded just recently, the other day. So I asked quite a while ago, and obviously their Twitter's quite busy, and they got back to me and said it's 110% still in development. So we are definitely getting a next first-party Xbox. How that sort of plays out and what that is, I don't know. There's obviously a lot of rumors and not from them. They haven't got much information in the way of what it is. But from what we hear, it looks like it's going to be a PlayStation killer, Bobby. Sorry. It looks like
it's going to kill it really well, or is it just going to be like a half kill?
Well, look, I think it's going to be this sort of the way the ROG Ally looks, and I think that's a bit of a concern as to, from what I heard, and again, this is complete rumor. Whereas the Xbox being developed, I know that's 110% factual. This is just a rumor from what I've heard, like bouncing around the community, is that they're still having trouble getting the Xbox games to emulate on a PC, for instance. So if you've got an actual Xbox console game, getting that to run on a PC has been difficult, and they haven't quite got there yet, is from what I've heard. But I think that needs to happen. Like, I don't think you can launch the next Xbox and go, hey, it'll play all these Steam games and any of these Play Anywhere games, which is another topic we've got, but it won't play all these console games, unfortunately, because now we're doing a whole new thing. Big Mad Mo. I don't believe anything unless I get absolute confirmation. And I definitely didn't believe it. I
Pistol Slap still is concerned about your beard. Your beard's getting a lot of attention tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to shave that damn thing off. But it's coming back.
Like that glistening coming off of those. It's like a baby smooth type of.
It's more like sandpaper, man. I only shaved this is 2 days worth of growth. This thing will be like down to here in like minimum a week. One more week and you'll see this huge glistening beard. So don't stress. It's coming back. So Holly, I know that you love this topic, talking about the next Xbox, but we didn't get a chance to talk about this. Like, did you believe that it was possible that they weren't developing another Xbox, or were you just, where were you at with it? And then obviously, how do you feel about being PC?
Yes, you know I love this topic because it never, ever, ever goes away.
Right?
Yeah, I believed that it was entirely possible that they weren't making another Xbox because Xbox has a reputation problem now more than it ever has, and it has nothing to do about like I fully believed, right? They were moving forward with this Steam console hybrid box that would sit under your, under your TV, but they've gone through such massive change and there's clearly something going on at the organizational level that um anything appears to be possible, right? So it's, I guess, my actual thought about all of it that was going on was the real problem isn't even whether they're making a new Xbox or not. The actual problem is that it is entirely believable that that's actually the case, right? Because their reputation or just their the security that people have in the brand is, it's on the floor right now, right? It's been broken. Nobody really has any faith on where Xbox is now and in the future, right? So, obviously, I want there to be another Xbox. I don't want there to not be an Xbox. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the brand is in such a bad place right now that a crazy rumor will come out like that. And like even people who are Xbox fans think it is entirely possible that that's the case, right? Never once had I ever heard there's not going to be a PlayStation 6 and believed it, right? Like there's always just going to be another PlayStation, right? Now it might morph into something different right over time, but there's no thought about there not being a PlayStation, right? It's just what it looks like is going to be slightly different here and there as time progresses and technology changes. Xbox, I wouldn't have said that 2 years ago, right? But clearly ABK has either changed timelines, accelerated timelines, changed entire business plans or entire business models from that point forward. And I think it's primarily due to internal reorganization of decision making more than anything, right? So, and I don't blame any of the Xbox leadership, for any of that. I don't think it's them that's, maybe dictating some of the things that people aren't necessarily loving in the last year or two. But anyway, the moral of the story is that it's sad that right now we're in a position where it really was like a very believable rumor. And
Yeah,
Mo's yelling at me.
Yeah, Mo's yelling at you.
I love you, Mo. I think it's the first time Mo's yelled at me. but anyway, and like I said, I'm happy that they've reiterated through press and all of the things that, of course we're moving ahead, we're moving on. They just brought out the Ally X, which I think is a great boon for the Xbox community or anybody who wants a handheld full stop. I think it's probably sounds like from the reviews that it is probably the best handheld currently on the market, which is great. I mean, the reviews have been coming in really good. But what I would also say is that we've had a lot of best laid plans with best of intentions. I honestly think best of intentions and, a very clear roadmap that has changed over time very unexpectedly due to reasons, right? So, why, I mean, I would just entertain a little bit of caution in your thought towards the future about what's going to happen. Not that there won't be one, but that there is a slim chance that maybe something will change. Don't know, because there was going to be an Xbox handheld after the Ally X, right? The Ally X was kind of like the testing sounding board for that, and then they were going to come out with theirs after that, and then they canceled that, and that was probably pretty far in development too. So, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor about that was apparently that the LAX was This is like surmising, sort of threatened by the unit sales that the Xbox might make, and they're one of those unit sales over in the LAX. And I think that's, as a partnership, a smart thing to do to like not compete with your own product, right, or like your partner's product. So I get that, but the Xbox is a bit different in that it's only competing, yes, with now PlayStation being their partner's product. I think that in the future we might see that become an issue. But I definitely, I mean, you saw me in the chat. I'm like, nah, I don't know, but well, let's see how this goes. But it does say something, Mo. It says something. You didn't believe it, but it says something that a lot of people were like, yeah, I can 100% believe this. Bushy, I guess to you, like, did you 100% believe that the rumor initially that there was going to be no other Xbox? I mean, you went out and bought a PC immediately, which is obviously what you're on now. So it's quite clear that you believe. Ooh. That you believe, no, but what does it say about Xbox? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That everyone just jumped on this 100%. Like, what does that say about the brand and where it's at?
First, let's address this PC thing. I bought PC 3 months ago, so I just was adding pieces to it, and when I got the 90, oh my god,
That's not true. He heard it was not going to be an Xbox, and he immediately went out and bought the PC.
And secondly, no, I didn't believe it. I think that the reason why that rumor became so big is because of the Game Pass prices going up, then the rumors of consoles not being sold to stores anymore, which was news from like 3 years ago, whatever. Some picture, some Walmart in here in the US, and you get stuff like that. And one thing I learned about rumors, once you start a rumor, whatever proceeds afterwards, no one hears it, or not as many people hear it as the people who heard the initial rumor. Like the initial rumor, it'll get passed around to everybody. But the correction to that rumor, the person like, oh, okay, that was wrong. And that's it. And not passing on that information unless somebody asks or unless it comes up in conversation. Not as fast as when they were going around just throwing out the information. So I think that was one of the reasons why. But I think the Xbox, it contributed big time, and I mean big time, to stirring that pot by upping the price and not really addressing the fan base or the player base, and then flip-flopping on it a little. And even I'm a little confused. I'm an Xbox guy. I have the PlayStation and a PS5 and Xbox and not Nintendo, but that even bothered me. Like, well, what are you guys doing? What really is the plan? I understand that this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox, but like, what are you guys doing? But I knew one thing. Well, I knew one thing for sure. They had contracts. Was it with AMD? You are not going to get out of that contract unless you pay a lot of money, and nobody's handing out 3 months. It'll be better. They're better off making a console and not getting sales than just paying off that money.
One note on the contract thing, right? Because the AMD partnership, because of course, you know, that was brought up pretty early, right, in that whole rumor fest. The one thing I would say is just that if like there might be some sort of nuance to that that they've committed to AMD chips, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be Microsoft/Xbox made consoles that are using those AMD chips. They could set specific specs and criteria and provide those chips to OEMs to make a partner box, right? And still fulfill that obligation because it would be an Xbox product, right? Like, yeah. Well, not just the Ally, but like if they decided to not make the next box, but spec out things as minimum criterias for Dell or HP or whoever, right, to make Xbox, then they could use that partnership to leverage the silicon.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the idea of
Understand what you mean.
using the
Yeah.
AMD partnership as, like, the 100% backing on why they're making the next Xbox, I think there's more nuance to just saying, "Oh, well, they signed this, so that means it's
Well, breaking the
done for the
contract is
next
going to
10
cost them
years."
a lot. That's why breaking that contract could cost them a lot of money, as opposed to just going through with the contract and and hoping that everything goes well. But breaking that
You could,
contract
yeah.
costs them a lot of money.
So you can renegotiate. So with contractual stuff,
Hmm
you can take it back to the table and renegotiate and shift that money within your business to somewhere else. You know what I mean? So you could, for instance, go, hey, like we'll do a Surface Pro and we'll use these chips, or maybe we'll do a gaming laptop, or we'll do this or that sort of thing to sort of well, if that they chose to go the route where they were going to make the Xbox,
Right.
probably, obviously
It's almost darn near
gonna
the same
cost-
thing, though. What you're saying, using the chip to make another Surface to do what? To play games, another phone or type of thing, or whatever to play games. So it's
Yeah.
still really the same thing. You're just shifting it, like you said, to something else. But you just might as well go ahead and go through with the contract, in my opinion.
Well, my other reasoning behind why I wasn't like immediately like, yeah, this is definitely happening is always been the same thing that I keep saying to sort of everybody when we talk about this whole new console coming is you've got, so we don't know exactly how many subscribers are, what's the split for console and PC and cloud or whatever, but they've got 50 million subscribers for Game Pass. So you've got to imagine, like, at the lower end, let's say it's 20 mil on console, right? And whatever
Was the
tier
last
they
number
are.
30? Was the last number 30?
No, the last number reported is 50.
Okay. No, on console. I meant on console. Just on console.
Oh, I don't know. But so let's say lower end, it's 20, right?
Sure.
That's a lot of money to leave on the table, and then just cancel a console and go like, see,
Right.
I just did not see that happening. And the other thing is that Bobby, I'm gonna jump to you actually in a minute. But the other thing is I sort of foresee that this will be, and there's rumors that this thing is like as powerful as a 5090, which I definitely don't. I'm not saying, and I don't 100% believe. But I would believe that they would make this console a lot more powerful than we would expect. So say we're going into this generation, there's going to be another generation. I would expect about a 3080 type level of power, sort of spec machine. I think they might make that a little bit higher to
We're
future
close
proof
to that
it.
now, though, Bob. Riskit. We're actually kind of close to that now. The Xbox, I think, is a 3060, 3070. The reason why I could tell you is it's a little above it because my initial one was a 3060, so for the PC, and it was below what the Series X could do. It was below it. I was like, wow, this 3060. When I flop back and forth, I was like, man, it's crystal clear on the Xbox. So why is it such a big difference? So it's more equivalent to a 3080, if you ask me, than a 30, whatever else you were saying. But I think the next one would be. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm eating up your time. I'm sorry. Go right ahead. I'll address that later. I'll give my opinion.
No, you're good. Are you good?
No,
I don't think they'll push 5090 levels though, or 5080 levels, or 5060 levels. I think they're going to sort of hit that 40 series mark.
Here's the deal. Once you start getting into PC, you start looking at everything, right? You start learning a lot more things. And since I was just getting in, putting the PC together, I started seeing benchmarks. So I started seeing benchmarks. So I would watch benchmarks on a lot of cards. And I was noticing that the 4060 was running almost as good as any of the 5,000 series or 500 series or 50 series cards. Very close. Very, very close. The only difference was frames, but the frames were still really high. It was like 90, and the other card would be like 110 or something like that. It was really close. So I started investigating more into the cards, and I noticed that the community believes that the 50 series, once I've seen what I've seen, seems to be more of a scam because it uses AI upscaling. I don't have a problem with that because if I can't tell the difference, I don't care. But if the other card can still achieve the same thing that the 50 card series, I'm not moving from the 40s to the 50s if that's not the case. So is more of a, if you ask me, of a scam. So if you're going to say that they're going to use AI upscaling, which I do think they're going to do, then I understand that then. But as far as the power of that card is concerned, it could be just as good as a 40 series, and you'll be just fine. As long as it's mid 40s and above, you'll be just fine. AMD though, on the other hand, I wouldn't know what the equivalent would be for them on AMD. I'm still learning the difference between that. That's why I went for the 9060 on the with the graphics card, because I don't know any difference, except for they were one of the two higher cards with AMD and also benchmarks. But I still don't know how to equate which one is better. I know the 4060 is nowhere near the 800 and the 990, whatever.
I just cannot escape PC, can I?
No, you can't. I don't think you're going to be able to. Yeah, I just don't think you'll be
It's the
able to.
wave of your
Especially
future.
when you buy one.
Exactly.
So I won't buy one. And
Yes, you will.
and it's
Don't you
it's,
want that new Rogue? It's technically a little PC.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not buying it. I got a Switch 2, man. It does exactly what that Rogue Ally can do.
No, it
The
doesn't.
the next Xbox will be a PC.
No, it'll be an Xbox.
No, it's a PC hybrid.
Definitely an Xbox. 100%. Bobby, I want to sort of jump to you, like, and from obviously from a resident PlayStation. We'll cut the pony bit out. Sorry. But from a resident sort of PlayStation fan, I'm curious to think, like,
Sure.
did you 110% believe that, like, yep, they're probably not going to make another console? And then what do you think it means that it's like, it was very easily believed. It went around like wildfire. Everyone was like, yep, this is probably what's happening. Not Mo. I'm just going to say to you, I actually didn't believe it, but I had to ask the question. So that says something. You can yell at Holly because she's the one that said she believed it.
He yelled at me already.
Bobby, what did you think? Did you think it was 110% true? And what do you think it says about, like, the brand at the moment, like where Xbox is?
Well, I don't really have a big impact on that, but I think they would make another console because it makes sense, because you have to still compete with your competitor. You can't just like have like no consoles coming out next time for the PlayStation 6 and then just have the Rogue Ally console thingy. It wouldn't make any sense for Xbox to just release that only, or to have that as its own little branding thingy for the next generation. Since like you enjoy playing on your console more than you do on a PC, so it makes more sense that they still need to feed that fan base that has like the itch to play on console more than they do on PC. Now, I have no clue what to think about the specs and stuff, because I generally just play on PlayStation, and whatever's on the PlayStation, I play it. So
I do have to ask though. So, what do you think about the sort of the brand where it's at? Like, would you trust it? Would you say, for instance, the next one comes out, it's equivalent to a, let's say it's equivalent to a 4090 or a 5060, right? Let's say that happens. I don't think it's going to be hitting the 50 series, but let's say it does. And the PlayStation comes out at, say, a beneath that in specs, right? Are you looking at buying? Would you look at buying an Xbox, or would you not?
I think it really depends on the price range, like how much it actually is. Like if it's going to be like almost $1,000, I probably won't do that. Even if the PlayStation 6 comes out that high, I probably won't do that either. I'll probably just like wait for it to drop or have like a sale.
Which we didn't get this generation.
You can get a nice pre-built 3080 PC for $750 right now.
Yep.
Which is way...
What happened? We used to all be Xbox, and then all these PC stuff just crept in, and it's
not going to be able to avoid it.
Gaming, like Gabe.
The original place for gaming ruined gaming. Yes,
Gabe.
Yes.
Gabe
It's
ruined
like
gaming.
gaming is a bell curve, okay? It starts on
Can't let it
PC.
go.
All this other stuff came around, but where is it all going back? It's all going back to PC. PC is the end game for
What did
everybody.
Thanos say? Thanos said, "It brings you
Everybody.
right back to me."
Yeah, the smartest person in all of this is Steam.
Word.
Yes.
But the drivers, we
What
have
about
to
the
install the drivers.
But
The
it's not like it's
optimization.
hard. It's not like you have to go in with your bare hands and install drivers with your hand. It's easy. You just do it on your PC. It's like, oh, your drivers need to be updated. And you say, oh, okay, go ahead. It even tells you. It'll pop up on the screen like, hey, maybe you probably might need to update your drivers. I've had it come up a couple times.
Do you know how many chats that used to be Xbox? Everyone used to bleed green. Now they're bleeding. What is the color that Steam uses? It's like sort of teal.
It's like
Is it
it's like
teal?
Blue. It's like a
Blue.
teal.
It's a darker blue.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I don't know about blue, man. That's
grayish.
sounds a little bit PlayStation. But we used to bleed green. Now all these chats turn into bloody PC, and all I hear is like, "Oh, this thing won't work. I can't get it to boot up." It's like, "Have you tried installing the drivers?" Oh, what setup have you got? It's like, I got an RTX this with this CPU, and it's well, the problem with that CPU is that the machine learning is how the third dimension.
Not if you get something like, all right, look, what I had to learn was like the standards, like the lowest you should go with the CPUs like a Ryzen 5. You know, you can rock with that. You know, anything underneath that, you need to change that. Let me get another misnomer out of the way. The 4090 series and the 5090s, those are for you're losing 30%. You're losing 30% gaming computing with that because it's more for graphic design and things like that. So your best bet is the 58s or the 48. So everybody throws the 4090s and 5090s are the highest, but you're losing more power with that if you would just went back, the other one beforehand. You did a little research to see that they don't.
I'm getting a 5095. Like if I'm buying anything, it's going to be the tippy top, whatever that number is.
I just told you it's 4080 then.
To not play any games on it,
right.
mind you.
How about that? Right. Exactly.
It's to edit his videos that he uploads from Xbox.
Also,
that I don't upload.
I want to understand why you don't you didn't reply to what Thatch 3512 says about the podcast 4 minutes ago. I thought that was pretty apropos, and I thought it was fitting.
What did Thatch say?
He said that let me go back up again myself. He says Riskit's doing. What did he say? Riskit's son running the show or something like that, to that degree. I gotta go back. There it is. Whoa, is Riskit's son hosting the podcast? Hello, Riskit's son. So his son looks better than that. Yeah, Riskit looks like he's been running a marathon through the outback, and he didn't have any water or food for 2 days, and now he's just gotten home.
This
he
never used to exist.
Lost the beard.
Yes,
that thing.
Yes.
That's why the beard exists, because that never used to exist. And thanks to my dad, it started growing when I was in my late 30s, and I was like, better cover that shit up because no one needs a second chin, right?
Yeah.
We just need one. Well, I mean, that's why you grow the beard, right? That's
that's
thing.
True. No, that's true. No, that is absolutely true. How all those corrections aging.
We sort of led into the next topic that I wanted to talk about because this was a thing. And Mo, could you put your caps lock on, please? Because you will need it. Get ready. So Cloud's actually, there's a rumor that they're launching, and Mo won't believe this because Xbox hasn't themselves said it, but there's a rumor saying that Cloud is going to be launching a second tier. They're getting ready to announce an ad-supported version of Xbox Cloud Gaming. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell The Verge. So this comes from The Verge. They're talking about having an ad-based cloud tier, and then obviously this comes off the back of the Game Pass sort of price rise. So let me address I was pretty pissed about the Game Pass price rise over here. That's I think it ended up being $26.95 a month or something like that.
I know that sucks.
It's pretty expensive, like per year.
It's expensive.
Doesn't work. Here's the thing: you can stack it, right? So I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out." That was my initial reaction. I'm like, "I'm out. Nah, I'll just buy my games." I already spend thousands of dollars on games per year, as well as have my Game Pass subscription. So like, I've always seen my Game Pass subscription as supplementary. And then when I have a bit of a quiet period with big AAAs coming out, I'll jump on the Game Pass, see what's happening in there, and use those games, right? Most of the big games that come out on Game Pass, if they're not day one, Expedition 33 excluded, and a few other big ones that they have per year, plus their first parties, which realistically, let's be honest, they are hitting that like 4 per year minimum. But I wouldn't say all of them are huge, right? So for me, I'm like, well, at the time, my initial reaction was like, why do I need this then, right? Because I'm already spending I may as well spend the extra. So there'll be 2 of their games that they release a year. And to be fair, I probably wouldn't have bought Avowed, but because it was on Game Pass, I played Avowed and loved it. Like, absolutely loved it. The other thing is FOMO. So if Holly's playing something, or Bushy's playing something, or Bob's playing something, and they tell me that it's really, really good, I'll probably go out and get it. So I do that. So Game Pass was supplementary, and then the price increase is like...
Cyberpunk is amazing.
No, it's not. And if it ever hits Game Pass, then I'll jump.
You should play it.
Whoa! You haven't played Cyberpunk?
I have played it, and it's not amazing.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he hasn't.
No, I think it's very good. I wasn't up for the game at all. From the very beginning, it didn't appeal to me. The game is really good. I have to admit.
It's not. It's really not good.
It's very good.
It's nothing that was promised. They lied.
Well, they had to scale back.
They purposefully obfuscated, and I don't think that that's something that should be rewarded by gamers. Which in the end it was, I feel. But yeah, I have played it. I actually was one of the first games that I bought, and I took it back. Like I bought it physically when I first got the Series X, and I took it back, and because I'm like, this is not what was promised.
How much of it did you play?
He played nothing of it.
That's what it feels like. But I want to ask, be accurate.
Hours.
No, I mean, how much is? I mean, we could go back and look on your gamer tag and look at your, stats.
Hey, wait, let me see what you played.
Yeah,
I'm currently blocking
10 minutes. 10%.
People from looking at my profile right now, so you won't be able to check that. But I played enough, right? That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't sound.
Storyline is really good. I really enjoy that story, the Street Kid storyline. Even if you don't like the storyline, like the gameplay is really good and very fluid.
Riskit and I have a deal that when I play God of War, he will play the entirety of Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
When I play the entirety of God of War.
Right? I can't believe she hasn't played God of War.
Wow.
It's nuts.
On both of you, wow.
It's funny how I have to do the game first, right?
Right. He's hoping some cataclysm happens in between then, and
I will play it. I will play
him. Yeah, he's falling out.
It sounds like a great December game.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
is.
God of War or
always play December too.
Family stuff. I can't be doing anything in December, so unfortunately, I shall have to miss that timeline. My dog's barking at me because he wants to come in, so I'm sorry if you can hear that.
Because he loves Cyberpunk. He's like, I want to watch you play Cyberpunk, Daddy.
Oh,
don't shock him.
Either that, he's giving up tapes, and I'm like, Dad, you ain't played that long.
Right. And then he just does a lap around you, like, I own you. I just wanted you to open the door, and now I own you.
And then goes back out.
and now I'm gonna lay on the floor. Look, jump back to the topic. I thought my initial thoughts with that, I'm like, why do I need this shit in my life? Basically, I don't need to be paying this. I've already got X amount of subscriptions. Like, it's actually getting crazy, the amount of subscription. I think I'm over double digits, like 15 or something subscriptions. It's getting sort of out of control with the amount of money that goes out. It's probably for me minimum $150 to $200 a month that goes out of my account to subscriptions, right? So I was like, do I need this? I buy enough games, like, the big games that I will probably will be all over. Will probably not be in Game Pass, and if they are, they're a little bit later. But I am getting a big enough backlog to the point where probably I could wait. But then I thought about this. I'm like, well, I could stack it. You know what I mean? So I went out and stacked it immediately. So I'm paid up till mid next year, and I can stack further. I've got some other stuff like in my Amazon downloaded for the next pay to just sort of continually stack it until they sell out. But yeah, this is the thing for me. It's not fucking defensible. Like, so it's not a defensible thing. So what really bothered me is I saw a lot of Xbox gamers going out there and going, you know, like, here's the value, and here's the this, and here's the, you know, it's got that, and like all the good things. And they're giving you Fortnite shit I'll never play, all that stuff. It was not defensible. And what bothers me is that the community will then, some of the community will just go out there and defend anything that Xbox does. So you got to stop doing that. And the other thing is the way that they delivered it was completely tone deaf. They didn't have any of the Xbox leadership like standing out front and taking taking a little bit of responsibility and a little bit of accountability, saying, look, at least something, right? You know, obviously they can't admit that it's bad. Like, I don't know how you would address that. And you could probably address it by not raising the price, Microsoft. You know, and especially off the back of the fact that you said you've just hit 5 billion revenue from Game Pass, and then you follow up with a price rise, and then we hear about, you know, like another ad tier. Like, this is the thing. This is the reason why the rumors being believed is they're so all over the place. They say they're not going to raise the price. Then they say, then they do. They say they're not going to, you know, they're only releasing 4 games on another console. Then they release more. They say that they're going to do this, then they do something else. This is the problem with Xbox's messaging. And we've been saying this for a while, is they just need to shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, shut up. Like, don't say anything about what you're going to do in the future. Even this sort of talk about the console itself. You know, they didn't have to address it. They could have just let the rumors run wild, and that's probably not great for the brand, but that's the situation that they're in. And they did address it, and I appreciate that. But what if, and this is the thing, there's a lot of people have been saying, is like, you know, like, yeah, they said they're going to do another console, and anything they say, I don't believe. Big Mad Mo, Big Mad Mirror. Big Mad Mo. I will say to you, man, that like you are the exception, not the norm. I think a lot of people are just, I just don't believe when Microsoft says stuff anymore. And I love the brand. I'm an Xbox guy. I love the company. I wish they just stopped finding rakes in the middle of the desert and fucking stepping on them. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Fon. Seawolf Swim. If Gaz blocks you because you're too much, then that's a bit of a problem. I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about it, Gaz. Shout out to Fonz. Shout out to Colt. Shout out to Happy Bomb. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Biff. Shout out to everyone.
Can I ask you something real quick, Riskit, on that subject before we move on?
Yeah. I want to jump to you guys. So,
did you think that do you think that most of the reason why the brass hasn't come out and said anything, or the faces of the company haven't come out and said anything, do you have any idea why you think so? I have not conspiracy theory, but I have a thought on it.
I don't think they're pulling the strings at this point, and I think they're the puppets. That's why I think a lot of these decisions don't make sense, and don't align with what the leadership has said, you know, earlier in the generation and going into the future. I think there's, you know, let's be straight up. I think Satya's reached down, Amy Hood, and the bean counters are up there making decisions. And bean counters making decisions is never a good thing. You always end up with issues down the track. I can't give an example, but in the job that I've done, I've seen many, many times where you've pre-gone to the bean counters to say, hey, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, then X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And that's going to end up costing us money down the track. And it's like, well, what do you know? You might be the subject matter expert, but, you know, just because you've seen this happen thousands of times before doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, like we're just going to go with the first decision we made. And then what happens is X, Y, and Z happens. And they're like, and then they come to you and go, why'd that happen? So I think there's a lot of that with the bean counters not actually understanding the gaming industry. I think you see that with other gaming companies. I think PlayStation does it, or has been doing it recently. Sorry, Bobby. And I think you see it with and at the moment, Battlefield 6 is another example of a fantastic game. But how long is it going to be before the bean counters are like, well, yeah, but we put this much money into the game, so now we're going to need you to sell this and sell this and sell this. And I think that's a bit of a symptom of capitalism. It's the system that we have that runs the world. And I guess it's just you have a few. There are good things about it, bad things about it, and I think these are just symptoms of that sort of business. But also I feel like the power in those companies, and I've seen it myself corporately, is with the bean counters. I think in the gaming industry, where it's a very creative industry, that needs to be those businesses need to look at that and shift that and go, look, we need to put the power in the hands of the creatives, because these are the guys that know what the gamers want. They create great games that the gamers love. Let's not fuck it up. And I think, you have that in Vince Zampella, for instance. So like Vince Zampella's had so many hits under his belt. If Vince says something, I'm pretty sure the bean counters go, well, it's Vince. He sort of knows what he's doing. He's made, and it's all based on money. Vince has made X amount of money with these X amount of games. Let's just listen to Vince, because Vince knows. And I don't think that there's a lot of those Vince Zampellas. Who's the guy that every PlayStation guy loves? He's makes the weird slow games that no one. That's so boring.
Kojima.
Oh, Kojima, yeah. That guy.
Well, technically, isn't he a free agent now?
Yeah, technically he is a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent. It's his own company, but obviously because he's been so successful, again, he's like one of those guys that people will listen to. I don't think there's many of them left. There's not many of those guys left. Those initial guys who have been so successful and just made hit after hit after hit, that the bean counters will listen. And I look, to Phil Spencer, I think Phil came in after Don Matrick just royally fingered Xbox, and then he didn't really have any sort of he was successful within the company, but he doesn't have that sort of backing where he can show this is how successful we've been with Xbox. And all those original Xbox guys, those 360 guys are gone. So there's none of that. So I guess a really long way of saying, I think that they're puppets, and there's someone else pulling the string at this point. And why do you think it is, Bush?
Because it's kind of tone deaf. It doesn't sound like the same thing that we've heard before from them at all. And the delivery was really, really bad. It took them a day for them to clarify that, oh yeah, we'll still have 3 different tiers, but it almost was like a rumor. I didn't see it for a while. It took me a little bit to find it. I've seen people make up charts and everything like that, but I didn't see anything official. And I think that's one of the reasons why it looked pretty bad.
They did.
Yeah.
They did have an official video. I think it was during the Tokyo Game Show. I think. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. I think so.
I watched that. It's we're upgrading Game Pass and we're making it much, much better. And we're adding all this stuff to it. You're adding Ubisoft classic games to the people who are subscribed to
who already
Game
have
Pass.
Those games.
I've already played those games.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and the Fortnite, who are you aiming that at? I think your Game Pass subscribers are you either casuals or you're leaning towards hardcore casuals. And I think
always the exception to the rule of what's going on. I think that there is a small portion that that benefits them. When it comes to Fortnite, I can't say what percentage or whatever, but I think there is a smaller percentage of people that it benefits too. It doesn't to the mass majority of the harder core, because more Xbox players, in my opinion, are more hardcore. It doesn't appeal necessarily to all of us as far as that option. Only thing that appeals us in that is when when a game comes out that we'll want to play, we'll upgrade to $30 just for that month and then go back down, I guess.
I think Mo's talking about what we were talking about, but he said he liked the video. So
no, that was for me. That was to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, I hope it wasn't the Xbox video. So, Bobby, so what did you think about the game? I mean, you don't have a Game Pass subscription,
No,
I'm imagining, but
the
did it tempt
last time
you?
I had it was actually for Starfield.
Right, so you did. So, what do you play that on? You play it on PC or
Yeah, I
you
played
play
it
that
on
on?
PC. That's when we
Okay,
had our
so
first conversation about if you asked me how I enjoyed the game because I put a couple hours into it because you thought I was playing it on the console, and I was trying to tell you that because you helped me get the microphone to actually work on the bloody laptop because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work.
yeah. I remember. Yeah. So they obviously the game bar and there's got issues, but so obviously it does it. If you've got a PC, is Game Pass attractive to you or no?
Uh, Depending on which games that actually come out and if I can actually run it on the computer. But yeah, it can be definitely good to have Game Pass if you play on PC only. That way you can have more games you can play on the fly and everything. I can see the big appeal for it. Like I understand why people would put money into it to actually support it, but if they keep raising it over and over again, then it's just going to be almost the same price as you know, buying a game. You might as well just buy the game in general.
That's sort of where I was at first initially. But I mean, if you stack it, then it sort of makes sense. And that's the other thing for stacking it. It's just if I stack a subscription like that, it's something I don't have to worry about for quite a long time. Holly, how'd you feel about I guess the other thing that really bothered me was the defense of it. Like, if it's indefensible, just say it's shit and move on. Like I said that, I was like, this is bullshit. But it is what it is. You don't have to harp on it, but you can honestly critique a brand you love and still, you know, you don't have to shield for the damn thing. I'm not pointing that to anyone. Holly, what did you think?
I was kind of outraged by the price increase because I have never played Fortnite and I could give two flying French fig Newtons about Fortnite. And every Ubisoft classic game, this is what it sounds like. I love Ubisoft games first and foremost, right? Like I love Ubisoft games, but Ubisoft Classics is like $8 a month. And I'm telling you, you can buy pretty much every Ubisoft Classic game in that catalog that you would be interested in for like $3 each. So, and you're not going to play all those games in the year, right? When you're playing the new stuff. So you could buy like 3 Ubisoft Classic games to play among, the rest of the games that are coming out the rest of the year that you're going to play. And you don't need to pay the $8 a month. You can pay $9 for 3 whole games and just not have Ubisoft Classic.
Just be done with it. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So if they, and then like, I don't know. In my head, I always think people who pay their hard-earned money, $20 a month for Game Pass, are the type of people who like to play a lot of games. Assuming.
Hardcore.
Right?
Right.
So who are the people that are playing Fortnite so much that they're paying a $12 subscription for Fortnite Crew, and then also playing all of these other games that are coming out in Game Pass to make that worth it, right? So I just feel like there is definitely an audience for people that have some overlap for that, but I feel like it's probably more of a minority within the whole Game Pass subscriber ecosystem than it is to force everybody that's in an ultimate tier to now have those things that they don't use. So I think the rational solution would have been to keep Game Pass, the current Game Pass Ultimate, the way it is, leave that tier, and then have an add-on where you could add $10 a month to either have 2 things. You could always have Ubisoft Classics in it, fine, whatever, right? But it would either be Fortnite Crew, if that's the one that you want, or a Call of Duty pass, right? This equivalency of Fortnite that would give you the battle passes that they come out with like every 2 to 3 months. They're the biggest games. They're the biggest games. And it would be still an optional add-on tier, right? They own Call of Duty. It would not be that hard for them to do that. And when you buy the battle pass, it's $15. And if you want to get the one where you get the 20 skip aheads and all that stuff, it's like 25 or 30. But they come out like every 2 to 3 months. So
Right.
if you're paying $10 a month to have that, then they're still making bank on it, right? Like they're not losing any money on the people who would have bought the battle passes. So it makes no sense to me to do this and force the majority of people in Ultimate to now pay a 50% increase to have services that the majority of them don't use, which is why I think you saw the website shut down, right? Like you see all these people just mass exodus. There are people like Big Man Mo said he said it's not his fault that he likes Fortnite and he plays it, right? So he's going to save his $2 a month. Good for you. I am happy for the people that this does fit, but I feel like it is a very small percentage of people that it does fit. So then my other comment about it is that I saw a lot of people who were like, well, I'm not interested in the new Ultimate, right? I'm just going to go down to premium. I think premium is where I'm going to land. And that's great if it fits your gaming play style and all of that stuff. But then, I looked at premium because I'm not paying $30 a month for freaking Fortnite. Okay. So I looked at the premium pass and I was like, why am I paying for the premium when EA Play is removed, which we've always had EA Play, right? Like we've always had that. Why am I paying for that when now that's removed? The rewards this is removing the conversation about Microsoft rewards and what they did to it, which is terrible. And then also not being able to play any of the games when they come out. You could be waiting a year for every single one of these, right? Probably not all of them, but potentially every single one of them, you could be waiting a year to play them. And then I usually buy Call of Duty every year, but even if I was a casual who dipped in and out and thought Call of Duty was a nice thing, you will never get any Call of Duty ever in this. Even if it's a year old and the new one's coming out, nobody's playing the old one, you're still not getting it, right? Which I thought was completely asinine. So, right. I get not having it in the first year. But once the new one comes out, nobody's on the multiplayer from the old one, right? Why wouldn't you just stuff that into Game Pass at that point? Nope. We can't have any premium opportunities for Call of Duty. So I looked at premium and I'm like, why would I pay that much? I would just go down to the basic tier and just buy the games that I want to play at that point. Like, why am I doing this? I don't know. Because even then, if you're going to wait 3 months to a year for a game to play it, you can usually buy it on a pretty decent discount, especially on PC. Riskit, hit the button. But especially on PC, you can get a good key for really cheap. So is that upcharge for this handful of games that you are going to play in the premium that will come that far out even worth it?
Just to correct myself, previously I said it was 26. And I brought it up. I'm like, I don't think that's actually right. I think maybe that's your price. I don't know where the hell I picked up 26 and why it jumped in there. $35, $35.95. It's $36 in Australia. And up from $22.95.
I made a whole video about this. It's like 35 minutes long. I made it when it came out. But my other point about this too is just it made me chuckle a little bit because I was thinking about the fact that now the base tier, right, just the element or core or whatever they're calling it, is $10 a month. You get 50 old games, right? But like it made me laugh because I was thinking, remember like 3 years ago when Xbox was like, we're raising Xbox Gold or Live or whatever to $120 a year, and the community rioted and they were like, okay, never mind, just kidding, still 60. Now where are we at? We're at $120 a year just to be online. the 50 game thing is whatever, right? Like there's no skin off their back for doing that. That's nothing. They're just trying to like cover the fact that they've now raised your cost to be online to $120 with that.
And what's the cost to be online for PC?
De nada. And even PC Game Pass just got a cost increase. Like there's nothing added.
Right? But it's not even close to the amount that you pay on console, which is.
But there's not as many games on it either.
I was getting ready to say it's really scaled down on PC.
It's not. Yeah, it's not as good as console.
I mean, now that that new Rogue Ally thing is coming out, they might bring more to it.
Be nice.
I don't know. I just feel like as a console player, I'm getting fucked.
Yes,
that's what I feel like. And
Yeah. Not the only one.
not just by Xbox. Like I think also in this whole generation, I also think PlayStation. I think PlayStation has jacked prices of games over and over and over. They haven't
Their
really
online
delivered
is
on
outrageous too.
$159 for 12 months.
Well, that's if you're doing the higher tier.
Yeah.
But like that's even more egregious to me because with Xbox, if you let your online lapse, it's not really a big deal. You could just, re-up it at any point. But with PlayStation, I always wind up paying, it's $80 now on PlayStation for the base, just keep your account active thing. And I always wind up doing it because it's got your saves tied to it. At least with Xbox, your saves are just, they're just
That's
yours.
the part I don't like. Yeah, that's the part I really would complain about.
The digital
price not
saving doesn't
necessarily.
bother me much.
The price not so much. It's more of my saves being tied to it. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And Bobby, I gotta say, I haven't seen you on Helldivers. What's going on? Because I've been in there.
Game.
You never added me on the friend list for that. You never added the crossplay for it.
No, I don't add people, man. People gotta add me. Yeah.
Well, you gotta at least let me know your Xbox tag so I can add you.
I'll add you. I'll add you after the show so we can jump in and have some crossplay. I won't shoot you, I promise. We do got to move on to the next topic, which is a little bit of sort of good news, and I think there's a couple of obviously perspectives I think on this, and I'd be really interested to get what everyone else is saying. And Big Mad Mo just sort of brought it up. He said every game from Xbox is Play Anywhere. And I do love that about Xbox. So if I ever chose to go to PC, I could take all those games over there. So
it's not every game. Yeah,
it's new ones.
Yeah,
it's the new ones.
Yeah,
right.
It's new ones.
Yes,
but
they're working on their older games,
right.
But like there's not a ton yet that are that you're being given access to on PC.
But when that comes, that'll come when they're able to port sort of those, not port, but emulate those games on PC. And they're still working on that for the new Xbox. And I think that comes at the same time. And I think when they launch the new Xbox, they're like, and if they manage to do this, because it's not, I imagine it wouldn't be easy to do. But they might do that. And hey, guess what? Now we've got blah, blah. And it also adds, let me just track back, it also adds the power narrative, like that the Xbox needs to make sure they've got that excess power. Because if they're going to emulate the, this generation's Xbox games over on a PC, that's going to take up a fair bit of headroom. Plus you've got the game running. If anyone knows how they work, Xbox has three hypervisors that sit with the machine. One's the OS and one is the actual games. And so the games it's not emulation, but it sort of runs like emulation at the moment. So how they can manage it, they would need to add a fourth hypervisor to run the console games, I imagine is what they will do. I'm not saying that I've heard that or anything, but I imagine that would be the way that they would go. And if they do that, then I think you might see the old Xbox games be able to play anywhere over on the PC as well. However, but there was some news coming out this week, and they're adding some pretty decent, like some crazy good games to the Xbox Play Anywhere catalog. So I wanted to sort of finish on a bit of a positive this week, because there's been quite a bit of negative Xbox news, and then we've had the ROG X. I didn't want to talk about that because I don't think any one of us has got the handheld, so we haven't really played it. But there's plenty of news about that. Head out there and check that out. Riskit on Helldivers, like shoot first, ask questions later, and that's why you don't run in front of me. You run in front of me. That's what I'm. That's just what happens. You stand in front of my bullets, you die. Same as in real life. I've never killed anyone. Disclaimer.
Shit, in real life.
But Xbox is adding a whole bunch of games to that Play Anywhere. They've already got 1,000. There's a list of 1,000. A lot of them are smaller games, but you would imagine, there's a few bigger games on there as well. But one of the ones that's being added is Baldur's Gate. You got Mortal Kombat 1, Odd Sparks. I haven't really played that. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, which a lot of people really, really liked. And there is a list of 1,000. And I guess my question was, and even Holly, you sort of jumped to it there. And I'm gonna go back to you because is that enough? You know what I mean? So like, this is the thing with me. So I won't get the Ally X is because I want to be able to play the games that I'm playing. If I'm playing it on my console, I want to be able to just jump straight over to my X and play it. And if I can't do that with every game, and then I've got to make 2 purchases of a game in Australia, they're expensive, right? So Battlefield 6 cost me $140 because I got the deluxe with the Phantom Edition, the whole bit. And that's with a 10% discount because they're EA, and there's a plus another 10% on it. It's like $150 to purchase one game. And now if that's not Play Anywhere and I want to play that on my X, I'm now spending $300 to play one fucking game wherever I want to. And that to me is, it's just not a sustainable thing. If I start doing that, I'm going to have to start making some pretty serious explanations to the missus. She's going to start asking questions. It's like, hang on a minute, why have you got 2 purchases? Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. Holly, is it enough? Is 1,000 enough? Do we need to I feel like Xbox Play Anywhere doesn't work if they can't get a lot of the bigger game creators on the game publishers online, like EA, Ubisoft, I think is on board, and all those. So how does this initiative work if they can't get everyone on board?
Well, Take-Two is probably going to be in my mind, Take-Two is going to be the hardest one to get them to allow the acts. It's basically like buying 2 licenses, right? Like you buy a license from Xbox, you only get the console license. So they want you to also have to buy, like Rockstar does, right? Then you have to buy the PC license, right? They're considered 2 licenses. So really Xbox is kind of going through and be asking these publishers to say, hey, will you allow us to bundle the 2 licenses into one price, right? And whatever deal that looks like. There are certain, like I said, I think there are certain publishers, particularly Take-Two, that are going to not want to do that because they like the double dip, right?
Sounds like a PlayStation thing.
Almost.
No console war.
Almost.
I was thinking. I was wondering the same question. See, Steph. Good. I'm sorry.
They do lose money on Xbox Play Anywhere, I think, unless Xbox has upped the percentage, maybe, right, in the cost share or something like that to sweeten the deal. But existing games, I mean, I think it has to be pretty. They have to be pretty old. They have to probably be smaller titles that maybe haven't done as well, right? Those kinds of things. Just said Play Anywhere cut is 12% instead of 30%. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, that
maybe
does work,
add
right?
The 12. They add the 12% on top of the 30 then?
So you'd be reducing your cut of that game by over half, which would make it pretty attractive.
Oh, I got you. Yes. So that's how they're doing it then. Right. That would be why people are incentivized to do it.
Mm-hmm. Is that for new games or is that for the older games?
It's probably for new.
That's a lot.
8812.
That's a huge cut.
I doubt it'll be that way forever. It's probably, the hook, right, to get people to get the publishers to start doing it with them.
Right.
And then eventually, as that gets more enticing, I would suspect that we'll see the other platform holder, aka PlayStation, right, start to look into doing things like this. And then once everybody's kind of on board, because I do think that Xbox is doing a lot of this as a power move to kind of break the traditional system. It's kind of like how Epic is going after Apple to break open their store, right? And force for allowing other competitors to come in and be able to purchase directly from Epic instead of having to pay Apple that, that proprietary sale fee through their system. I think that Xbox is doing this to force open the market from Sony, probably from Nintendo eventually, although much further down the line. But I think that they're doing it to make it viable for them to sell their games everywhere and to be able to sell everybody else's games on their platform and really, just kind of fillet the fish, right? Make it all open. So having said that, it's a gamble, but it's worth it if they can get the market to follow the path that they're headed down.
Right.
Which, if they make it enticing enough, like the 8812, then it gets hard to deny that it's not a good deal. I think where they have a significantly harder time are the legacy games that have already been purchased and trying to just get them to give you another copy, right? From PC.
Right.
Even if they're only going to charge you $5 on Steam, that's still like $3, right? For every sale
still
in there
some
that
money
they
made.
would have had.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. That's my thought.
So where does that leave the consumer though? Like, I understand the business side of things, but
well, it's better for us because when there's an open ecosystem like Fortnite and all the stuff that people buy on Apple, right? For your iPad or for your phone, whatever it is, right? Like, if you're buying it more direct from Epic, like right now, I'm cashing in like crazy because Epic is trying to break into the Steam market and they're offering 20% cashback rewards in your account for every game that you buy. So I buy a $60 game and I get like a $13 credit in my account to use towards another game later. I have $70 in rewards sitting in my Epic Games account for just buying a small handful of games to use on another game in the future, because right now until January, they've got 20% back and they always have like a 5% back or something like that in their account. So as a consumer, I'm winning right now in their fight, right, for market share. So if you can break open all of these markets from these siloed systems and force them to all be open and integrated, we win, because they'll all be fighting for the same thing we've been talking about with this new proposed Xbox console with the Steam store and the Xbox and the Epic store is who are you going to buy it from, right? Now expand that to literally all gaming platforms and all opportunities to purchase games. They're all going to be fighting for you to actually buy from them.
Right.
Which helps them and it helps us, right?
Right.
So the end game of that isn't super sort of if you take that to its logical conclusion, right? And then we get to the end of that, like someone's going to win out of that. Someone's going to sort of become the monopoly of that, right? Is that that to me is the logical conclusion? Why not?
Why would there be a monopoly? They all have stores and they're all going to run different games and different specials. And like for example, I promote this Epic sale for the rewards thing right now a lot, right? And I have a code. If you buy a game on Epic, just put ThatBlueNumber in the creator code. And I don't know, I haven't got anything yet from it, but one day I might, right? But anyway, well, and it doesn't even matter, right? You should just save your money how you should, right? You should get the best price possible. So I tell all kinds of people about the Epic Game Store sale that are on PC, and a lot of people are like, well, but I have all of my games in Steam. I don't really want to have another launcher, that kind of thing. And I'm like, look, Epic gives 2 games away every week for free. They're usually pretty decent games. And then on top of that, you've got the 20. I don't mind having 2 launchers when I know I've got this library building over here too. And then Xbox has come in with this new Windows PC launcher, right? The Xbox app. You open the Xbox app and all of your downloaded games from all of the launchers are just in this one interface, right? So if you've downloaded it through Epic or if you've downloaded it through Steam, you can just open the Xbox launcher and see all of them there, and you don't have to open the other launchers once they've been downloaded.
Is that
So
live now? Is that happening now, or is it?
yeah, it's open now.
And how does it launch? So it just takes you directly and it runs off Steam, because obviously some of the Xbox games don't run as well.
It's a tile, it's a tile system of all the games that you have. You click on it and there'll be like play, manage, something. You hit play and in the background it opens that launcher, but it just direct opens the game for you. So it doesn't.
Is that Armory Crate you're talking about? Because Armory Crate does that, something like that. Okay.
Nope. The Xbox PC app.
Okay. I have to keep on looking at that. Okay.
He's still here we go. We're going to start hearing about RTX 305012s and 2020 CPUs.
The point being, right, is that everybody knows Steam. Everybody on PC generally loves Steam. They're pretty consumer friendly, mostly. And you can always get codes online for Steam, right? All that stuff. But they're not the only game, they're not the only game in town. There's GOG, there's itch.io, there's Epic, and they all coexist on this one gaming platform, let alone, not even opening that up yet to considering all the consoles out there. So when you bring all the consoles in, like PC shows that all of these marketplaces can exist at one time with no problem. So if you're bringing Windows in through Xbox Play Anywhere, and you're bringing PlayStation in through PlayStation Play Anywhere, whatever they're going to call it, then it's just another competitor in the market. And they have different things that they're coming in with to try to entice you by saying, well, we also have this Xbox handheld that's, whatever. And by the way, we have this little console hybrid that you can put under your TV, right? Like, so, but don't worry, you don't necessarily have to buy our thing or even buy the games from us. You can still buy it from Steam if you want, but you can launch it through our launcher, and maybe they'll have an ad for one of their latest first party games that are coming out, or, you know what I mean? Like there's ways for them to do this. Or maybe you're searching for a new game that's coming out. Let's say you're searching for the Outer Worlds 2 to buy, and maybe they find a clever way to show all of the storefronts, and maybe Xbox offers you a special deal, right? Because it's one of their first party games that allows you to buy it from them a little bit cheaper, and maybe that's how they get you. I don't know, but it's all possible, right? And I don't think them entering the PC sales space or PlayStation entering the PC sales space is going to drive any of them out of business. And I don't think it's going to drive a monopoly in any way, because Steam has been around forever, and it's obviously it's like the PlayStation of PC stores, but it has competitors, right? It's not its own thing. So it proves, the PC marketplace already proves that the monopolistic tendencies is not really a thing. Right.
I think the only thing that I think me and Riskit might be looking at, because Riskit asked the same question I did, like, what's the end game for Xbox? Because on console they have a locked ecosystem, and having a locked ecosystem, that you got 30 million people and they have to buy games from you through that ecosystem. Same thing on PlayStation, 120 million people, they have to buy it through that ecosystem. I kept saying to myself, I was like, all right, well, if you open it up and you take less money from the other companies, Steam and Epic and everything like that, I was like, what is it? I mean, I know how it works out for me. It works out great for me because it opens up real competition. But I was like, man, how's that work out for Xbox? But I guess, like Phil Spencer said, don't worry about it, just enjoy it. But I'm with Riskit. I can't help but think sometimes, like, how does this benefit?
Where does this go?
Think about it this way. If they can truly break down the barriers of having all of these storefronts, because if they are like doing this bullish move to break down storefront barriers, right? Because they all just want the most money they can make, period, full stop, right? Then you know, if like
Don't we all?
PlayStation's leaving a lot of money on the table by not, you know, doing the PC thing, right?
Especially
Immediately.
D&D. Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, they make a lot of money when they
Mhm.
release their games 6 months or a year later, right?
But you
But they
would make
don't have the
more
same
D&D.
they
Yeah.
don't have the same marketing cycle. They lose some traction, right,
Mhm.
on PC
Right.
sales because it's not
Right.
coming out at the same time. But they're
Right.
trying to balance their fan base and their market share with their console to try to
Mhm.
drive the console. But once they realize or their technology gets to the point where it's gonna maybe morph to more of this hybrid system, right? They're going to start making their I mean, in my opinion, that they'll make it's more about how accessible, how convenient it is to play on that system versus what keeps you forced into that system, right? Because Xbox is going to in their hope is going to force this open sale platform, and they're all going to be making tons of money by selling their games to each other through this PC interface ecosystem. And Xbox will ultimately make more money. I mean, yeah, they're selling on the console now, but what they would like to do is to drive that bridge and that wedge to force it all open. And then it really just allows this fluid sharing of content and money.
I
like,
think you sort of need to get Steam on board with that. So I mean, and Gabe and
Steam doesn't care. Steam doesn't care. Like, they're already working with it. If Steam cared, they wouldn't put their app on the Xbox ROG Ally.
Mhm.
They don't care. They're making enough money. They don't care.
No, I mean with the Play Anywhere, right? So I mean, but then if so that is a driver to your ecosystem. You'll start buying it with them. If so, I guess that's your sort of wedge, right? If your Xbox and your games are all Play Anywhere when you buy them from Xbox and you can play them anywhere, that sort of drives the wedge towards Steam. Going, well, look, like stop buying them over there because now we're doing Play Anywhere. You can play them. You know what I mean? Like that's where you're buying it from because realistically, at the moment, there's one publisher, we'll call it Microsoft, one platform that's selling Play Anywhere. Like no one else is doing that.
Well, but Play Anywhere only matters if you're playing on a handheld or if you're playing that's not like Play Anywhere only actually matters if you have a console and a PC right now, right? But eventually, I mean, eventually these consoles are going to be PCs, so they don't even need to sell a console version anymore. Well, you can hit the button all you want, but both of them are going to be some sort of, it's like putting lipstick on a pig, right? Like, you could be like, oh, it's a console, but it's really just they have transitioned their boxes to be a PC so that they don't have to worry. Like they won't have to worry about double ports, right? They won't have to worry about like the two license situation. It's all going to be one license and it'll be packaged differently, right?
It will make it easier for them because they'll be able to, like you said, make it for if you're making it for if you're making a period, if you get everybody to follow suit, you just make the game and it could work with everyone as long as everyone's using the same type of
OS.
format. Yeah, and OS, yes.
Yeah, I mean that sort of leaves PlayStation. This sort of pushes PlayStation into a corner, Bobby. What do you This does put PlayStation in a bit of a situation where, I mean, I've said this many times. You probably heard me say it. Is that eventually PlayStation's going to have to start selling their games on in an Xbox ecosystem. If Xbox goes PC and pushes them into that corner, you'll be able to access those PlayStation games anyway. So, do you see PlayStation sort of just coming to the party and start working a little bit more with Microsoft?
It's a possibility. Like I the way I've always pictured it was like sooner or later, if they are going to make some kind of like Hive box for an Xbox system, but still have it where you can actually log into your PlayStation account. Like if you could still take all of your games that you got from PlayStation and somehow still play it on the Xbox, then that would make a perfect console because then you could pretty much just play if you want to play from your PlayStation account to your Xbox, or if you want to play your Xbox games from the Xbox account.
That's 100%. Do you see PlayStation doing that though?
I mean, over time they might, because they did a lot of things Xbox has already done before, and then they just followed suit, like the needing PlayStation Plus to play online. Before, it used to be Plus was just a thing that you had and you can just get free games from it, and now it's a source of thing that you need to have to play online games. Period. So you need Plus. And before, it used to be, it was just a thing that you could get three free games or some other things from it and some goodies and so forth. That's how it started off on the PlayStation 3.
Hey, Bob, do you think
Yeah.
that one of the reasons why that they started to follow suit more with Xbox, in my opinion, I thought it was, I want to see if you agree with this. In my opinion, I thought it was because so much money they lost with those live service games. They lost close to, what was it? They had 600 million with another, 400 million
400.
with another, right? And then you had another game that was canceled. I don't remember what the numbers was for that one. Well, actually, it was two other games, but regardless,
I think they canceled 12 games altogether.
yeah. So we didn't get the mark for those. That's close to $1 billion. Well, that's over $1 billion
over $1
worth
billion.
of loss. Yeah, and so I looked at it like it kind of forced them into that because they got the market share like in spades. But at the same time, losing that kind of money, you can't recoup that kind of money fast. And also, too, people haven't been buying games as much. And it's probably because of people buying on the PS5. It's not across with the PS4. So the sales numbers have been kind of low. So they have to kind of do something to supplement. That's what I was thinking. They had to do something to supplement that kind of loss of revenue and of development and everything they did with those other games.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing that way, because they put a lot of effort into trying to make those live service games, and then the majority of them have been canceled, and they only kept two, which was basically Marathon and whatever that Fair Games one is.
Well, I mean, that also Helldivers is a live service and successful.
Yeah, but
right?
that one's
But then-
already out. I was just saying about the ones that are coming out.
That's not a cash cow, though. Yeah,
We
it's
don't-
not a
we don't
cash
con-
cow,
I mean,
though.
we think about it though, like at this point, I would say that everybody could agree that PlayStation is the dominant console, and it will probably always be the dominant console.
When you go to your local GameStop, they usually say, "Yes, you want to buy a PlayStation first?"
Yep.
Right. And Phil even said we lost the critical generation, and he did. It's 100% right. He's 100%. That's absolutely true. Right. So I don't really think that for Sony, even if they were going to open up their marketplace, not just more openly to PC, but to also, if they were going to open up more and more to Xbox, it's not a threat, because when people go in to buy the next console, they're going to buy the console they're already on, right? Like in reality, because their friends are there, their library is there, the market share is there, so automatically, right, they're going to be offered the PlayStation more often, or unless you say, no, I want a Xbox or whatever, right? So there isn't really that much of a threat anymore for Xbox to be pulling console share back from PlayStation, and they know that. They're fine with that, right? That's why they've done this pivot to being way more software focused. So is it really that outrageous for Sony to also very much realize that and be more confident in the fact that, like, we're fine, right? If we sell some games more often here and or day and date on PC and then maybe later on Xbox, it's not going to hurt them in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to make them more money, right?
Yeah. In the end, I mean, also look at the success of Helldivers. So I mean, that's obviously a bit of that could be a sort of a catalyst for them putting more and more over. I will just go to Keel and Blood. Like,
I was getting ready to say, yeah.
Yeah, this is not the kind of. This is not
this guy. He's just a weirdo troll.
We didn't even say that. We didn't say anything about watering the games down. I don't think it waters the games down at all. We were just looking at how the distribution. Good.
He's taking like what he thinks like Xbots think, and then he's like transposing that onto us. You actually be surprised, champ, to find out that I don't actually like Xbox's its strategy, and I've been saying
There's another show on right now that you're probably suited in that that chat.
Yeah, head over to C Money's
critical
podcast,
thinking
man,
and
because
critical listening. Because we
he's the
didn't say anything
expert
like that.
you want to harass. I'm the guy who's like, we should have exclusives on Xbox and it's bad. So you're in the wrong podcast, man. We critique both. We critique Xbox. We critique PlayStation. Where these guys have now mostly, I would say, Helldivers is up there on a level with Gears and Halo. I would say. I don't know if you played that game. But these guys are PC. Bobby's PlayStation. I'm predominantly Xbox, but we critique everything. So probably just before you like blow a valve somewhere in your brain, I would go over to C Money's podcast because you'll probably have more effect over there. He's the expert that really doesn't critique anything to do with Xbox and can try to flip anything Xbox does into good, like a price increase. Price increase is great because Xbox makes more money. I know, baby. Anyway, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Sorry, C Money, if you're out there. Fuck you, kiss mask. But look, that seems like a fantastic note to end on. But before we do actually, there's a couple of you know me, I say what I think. It hurts me, but I don't care. So Zamboy actually asked a question, so we'll go through this. I wonder if Microsoft starts selling ad space for Steam and Epic sales for certain games in their UI. I don't feel like that they'd. Well, actually, maybe, right? Because
there's a chance.
Actually, maybe.
Yeah.
I think like if you're trying to hit a specific audience, you've got a huge gaming, as you said, Bushido, and I actually 100% agree with you. I think that like for the most part, Bobby, not saying this in a derogatory way to PlayStation. I think just the amount of people that they have on PlayStation. And that's the primary console, the one that everyone knows, the one that sort of gets pitched when you go into a store. I think there's more like hardcore guys on Xbox just because of the size of the base. And that may have been different in 360 days for the same reasons, right? But you've got a hardcore base of people that love their gaming. And if you're selling ads, like who better to sell ads to and try to pitch PC to than Epic and Steam? And then obviously, Holly, Bushido, a lot of the Xbox guys that I know now have a PC. And are running on PC, so sorry, I just read a little bit of the chat. So, I mean, I think this is a perfect place, right? That it makes sense to me. What do you guys think? Do you think like it's something that we'll see if they start doing those advertising spaces within cloud gaming that they sort of push the Steam Epics? Bobby, jump to you and see if you think it's a possibility.
I think it probably would happen. Like if somebody's like getting stuck in a queue while they're waiting for cloud gaming and it pops up saying, hey, this is what you can get from Microsoft right now while subscribing to this channel. You want to skip these ads today? Pay something to skip them today. Jump to the next list, and it's like, all right, great, I'll pay that extra $10 to get rid of this.
But do you see them like advertising their competitors? Like I actually see a world in which they might advertise PlayStation or in which they might advertise Epic. Like I feel like Microsoft is what's the word for it? They're a business and they're looking to make money.
I don't think they would like openly pop up with like a PlayStation logo or anything, but I think it will pop up at the end of the ad. It'd be like you can now play it here, and also PlayStation. But I highly doubt it's going to be like MLB The Sports or something popping up a PlayStation logo first, and then it would be Xbox being like, hey, there you go.
Right? Yeah. Right? Well, I can see it. Bushy, you could sort of, you said you could sort of see them.
I can see it not more as a rolling film or commercial like type of thing. I could see it as like, you know how we get those little blocks down in the corner of our UI, and it'll have the events, and these games are free to play for this weekend, and then they'll have another one for, I guess, game sales or whatever. But I can see like that. Me personally, that wouldn't bother me because that stuff that's there now, I just ignore it anyway. Unless I see something really quick on a glance that's on sale, I'm like, hey, I might be interested in that. But besides that, though, I don't really pay them any mind. I can see that. But if it's something I gotta sit like Bobby says, I gotta sit through it like like a Pandora commercial or Spotify, free Spotify, listening to a couple ads, I'm not not going to be happy with that a little bit.
No, 100%, especially if you're paying for Ultimate, right? That's
Right,
the tier that you've
right,
got.
right.
I think it's going to be tiered level. I don't think they're going to try to sneak ads
Yeah, but
into.
that's still messed up because Netflix is doing it, and I'm like, I know this sounds like an old person thing, but I remember how Netflix used to be when it was broken up into tiers, and when it was in the tiers, commercials weren't in the conversation at all. The only thing I didn't like was you had to pay a higher tier for 4K when earlier you was getting 4K for free, but then now they want to make you pay for 4K. But to make you pay the medium, was it the medium tier or the lower? I forgot which one it is because I'm not paying for Netflix anymore. But to pay more to not see commercials is diabolical, in my opinion. That you would make it so that I have to pay you more money.
Even Amazon
not to be interrupted.
Amazon, what was it, 6
Prime.
months ago, said if you don't want ads on your Prime subscription, which you pay for already, give us another $2.99 a month.
I mean, I just want
to add. If anyone's just quickly, I just want to add the opinions of Holly and Bushy are not the opinions of the Infinite Podcast. And if anyone from Google or YouTube is listening, we're quite happy for people to pay to not get ads. Holly?
No, I pay for YouTube Premium. It's the best subscription that I have.
Same.
But my and I go into this and y'all should go watch my video because I put a lot of good comments about this in there, and I compared I compared 3 major subscription services to Xbox Game Pass because I did YouTube Premium, I did HBO Max, and I did Netflix, right? And here's the defining difference. It is really difficult to even compare Netflix. Let's use Netflix, right? The highest, most expensive tier, which gives you the 4K, no ads, the whole thing, downloads, is $24.99 a month. $5 cheaper than Game Pass a month. And the difference is that if you have people in your home besides yourself, and even maybe yourself, right? But odds are you have somebody else in your home, they are probably not a gamer, or at least maybe not a gamer to the same degree as probably most of the people here, right? So when you look at the 2 subscriptions, which one are you going to have to cancel for your budget? You're going to have to cancel Game Pass because people always watch TV and want to watch Stranger Things or Squid Games or whatever, right? But you're probably not going to you're not going to cancel Netflix. You're going to cancel Game Pass if you have to choose one or the other, because you're talking $55 a month, which is crazy, right? Just for those 2, let alone everything else. And then on top of that, the reason that Netflix can get by with asking for $25 a month for the premium tier is because you can literally not get Squid Game, Stranger Things, Bridgerton, whatever particular series it is that you like, locked behind a subscription paywall of Netflix. You can't get anywhere else. Game Pass does not have that luxury because it's not like they are locking any particular game behind the subscription. You can literally buy the game as an alternate to paying for the subscription to pay it or to watch it or play it, right? So the reason, and this doesn't equate to the whole Xbox putting their games everywhere. That's not what I'm talking about, right? It's the fact that even on their own ecosystem or any other ecosystem, they're not locking a game behind Game Pass Ultimate, full stop, right? You can just buy it. So that's how Netflix gets by with this. There's nothing locked behind this tier to make you need to get it. Right.
Well, see, this is where my argument always lies. Exactly where you put this, exactly where you put that. So
it's not the same though.
I think that Xbox should have done that. I think the Xbox should have locked it into this, some games into the subscription. Hey, you want to play Doom? you got to come here to play it.
Oh, from the beginning, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they should have done that with a lot of their first party games, because then it makes, because the thing is with Netflix is, if you want, like you said, if you want to watch The Witcher, you can't get it anywhere else. And the only way that you can watch that game, that series, is by paying for your Netflix subscription, right? Not that anyone would want to watch that now because Henry Cavill's out of it, so fuck Netflix that. But like, just as an example, right? And now if Xbox had done that, oh my god, hopefully you can still hear me. If Xbox had done that with with their exclusivity around like all their first party games, that would have given you a huge reason to get behind it. At the time when they launched this, they obviously didn't have those exclusives. That's 110% true, but they could have sort of driven to that. They've gone a completely different direction. But this has always been my argument. It's worked for every single subscription service on the planet. Like you run them all off, like Disney, Amazon, Netflix. Every time they have created exclusive content and locked it into their ecosystem, they have grown and there has been profit.
But it's different because it's different than just locking a game to a platform. It's different.
I agree.
Well, Kaylin, last thing I'll say to you, bud, is you came in like a weirdo, bro. That's not disrespectful. It's you came in like being disrespectful, and if you come in being disrespectful, you're going to get disrespect back. But if you're happy and you're respectful, bro, you're all good. It's not because I feel like you need the content first to do it, right? So Netflix is quite an open sort of platform. Initially, it was a renting of movies, and they'd send them out to you and all that sort of stuff, right? And they were using other people's content. You can get that content anywhere else, and they managed to grow to a point with that, right? And I think Xbox did that with Game Pass, is they were using other people's content as well as some of their own, but nothing that was sort of locked behind their Game Pass wall. And then they grew to a certain point, right? And then when they weren't seeing growth, and that was a report that they weren't hitting the numbers that they wanted to, instead of locking down and creating that walled garden a little bit more, which is worse for consumers. I would 100%, before Mo starts yelling at me in the chat, it's worse for the consumers. But as a business, they went the opposite way. They're like, let's open up this walled garden. Let's put these games in as many places as they can. And that I don't think it's arguable that decreases Game Pass's intrinsic value, as it would have with Netflix, and we'll never know. But I could always make a good solid argument for, if they had locked down their walled garden being Game Pass a little bit more, I feel like you would have seen more growth in the PC space, and definitely on the console, because people be like, shit, I can't even buy this game. I'm just going to have to sign up, because there's, I think it's 80 million if you include like Xbox One, probably more than that. It's probably like 120 million to 140 million, owners of an Xbox. And had you locked it down, like, and not even half of those guys are subscribed based on those figures, right? But had you locked it down, and that they were bringing out good content, first-party content, the only way to play it was in that Game Pass subscription, that is where it works like a Netflix. You know what I mean? That's where it's like totally comparable to a Netflix. But they didn't do that, and we're never going to see that. And realistically, I can't ever prove that would have worked. But I feel, had they tried that when they got ABK, they would have seen massive growth. You know
but
what I mean?
think the reason why they did it like that in the very beginning, remember, they lost the previous generation, and they had to do something. It was like a desperate ploy. Like, hey, look, we're throwing our first party games in here. They had to do something to get people hooked into Game Pass, because in the beginning, Game Pass games weren't that great, even though I stuck with it. Some of the games, I'll say, as it grew, it got a lot better. And now I think it's very good now. For the last 3 years, actually, it's been very good. I think that's why they did it that way, is because they had to. And as time went along, and I don't even want to perpetuate the whole cost of game stuff. That's your fault. Whatever the price of games are, or your expenditures on this game being developed, that is management's fault. You give them a budget, you stick to that budget. You've got great games like Control made for $60 million. I don't even want to hear it. But the excuse is that. So with that being the case, if the excuse is true, I'll just run off of that, which I don't believe. I think that if it costs more to make more games, or to make them as big as they're making them, the games are going to cost more. So yeah, they're looking at like, well, we're not getting the same amount of money back as what we're putting out or what we'd like to see. Because really, when you think about it, Game Pass made, I think, was the number $5 billion in profits 1 year, or was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah. So how is it that you made $5 billion in profits, and now you're like, you know what? We gotta up the price because we only made $5 billion in profit. That's what it is. And it goes back to the bean counters. To them, yeah, that was nice. You made $5 billion, but we have to make more money every year. You can't stay stagnant. You should be fortunate that you're sticking with getting that amount of money because of how small the base is. And secondly, how we're close to being in like sort of a recession when it comes to money. And three, it's the audacity to have to fire people so that it looks good for the shareholders and say that your profits are $5 billion, but then come to us and ask for more money from us. It's just crazy to me, but that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think I don't think the ad tier is I don't think it's going to affect me as long as that does not creep. As long as there's no creep, there's always creep though. And how much creep are we going to see? There's always creep of these guys are charging more for games. We saw it with 2K, then PlayStation did it, so and so and so forth. There's always creep, but we'll see how far this creep goes. But as far as an ad tier, like if they want to do a tier that's low and you can get it for $5 a month and that gets people in and people are happy to watch the ads in cloud or whatever it is, cool, no worries, that's fine. You start tacking on ads to these sort of mid-tier to lower tier, the premium. If you put ads in the premium or the PC Game Pass or the Ultimate, that ain't it. That's just not it.
Let me ask one question, everybody. Do you have a problem with ad placement in games? Like I saw the last Jurassic Park, and which was another story, but in it they had a little Snickers thing in there, and make sure you saw that little Snickers thing in there. As you see with Death Stranding, then you had I think Monster Energy drink in it. Now besides somebody,
they took it out though.
Well, I'm just asking though. Does anybody have a problem with that? Because me personally, I really don't. As long as it's not you taking it and saying, "Hey, this is Monster Energy drink," it and going through the whole spiel. But if it's just like a can of Coke sitting on a table, like I don't really mind that. Or
I don't care. Get your money. Get your money.
I don't mind that. As long as it's not, in my face.
Better it come from the advertisers than us.
Exactly. If they're gonna get their money like that, I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm fine with it as long as it doesn't start because like I said, we're hard. Most of us here, all of us here are hardcore gamers, and I would argue most of us here in the chat are hardcore gamers. But take that money from the casuals. Like take that time from the casuals. Like I don't want it in my gaming. Like I'm happy to pay what I pay for. I'm not happy to pay 35. It's bullshit, but I'm happy to pay the 20, the 21, or 22 that I am going to stack, right? And not have that stuff. And it's fine. Keep it in that tier, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. Or if in Forza, you know what I mean, you're doing billboards while you're driving, or if there's billboards within game, that's not going to affect my, you know what I mean. If as long as it fits the game, if it's a dystopian landscape, like for instance Ark Raiders, and everything's all messed up, and then there's this big shiny Mountain Dew billboard right in the middle of the game, that's probably going to break the experience a little bit. But obviously, if they do it respectfully, they do it right, I'm cool with it. But don't get egregious with it. So I guess it's all in the delivery and how they do it. I'm cool with that. Like that's fine. You got to make your money, and that's absolutely fine. But
if the billboard was busted up, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But
again, Microsoft has been known to find the rake and step on it. Like I once said, like a great man once said. No, I said it. Like if there was a rake in the middle of the Arizona desert, Xbox would find it and step on it. Yes, like 110%. So watch this space twice. That's right. Instead of going through and be like, I'm gonna get out of here and step it on the way out.
Exactly.
This place is dangerous.
You step back and you step forward again. Yeah, exactly.
Look, that's all we got time for this week, but I want to wrap it up by outroing everyone. So Bobby's first appearance, man. Thank you for coming on short notice. Appreciate you coming through and giving us your takes, man. Let the people know where, because you're obviously a budding creator, you're starting out doing your own thing, so that's pretty exciting. So let the people know where they can find you, what you're up to, and guys, with everyone, you can go down the links and check in the description, and I'll make sure those links are in there either today or tomorrow. So Bobby, let everyone know where they can find you, what your plans are for the future.
Yeah, I just plan on playing a lot more games. I have Silent Hill 2 coming out soon on Plus, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. And I was thinking about going through Until Dawn remake and see if they changed anything in that. I've also was thinking about trying out a couple of other games here and there for like a little Halloween horror show type of thing going on.
Cool.
I haven't figured out which one I want to play through yet, but I'll work through it.
Yeah, I still haven't got through Kronos yet, man. And I know
sure?
Monad in the chat there said it's pretty good. It's not Dead Space level, but it's good. I
It's
need
a
to
good
get through it.
It has some flaws, but it's definitely still a good game to play through. Honestly, I don't think it's like a scary game, but it definitely has a lot of moments where you're pretty much pushed to the wall and you need to fight to survive correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I died in the first hour, so I was like, oh, okay, this thing's going to be a challenge. Yeah, well, I'll have Bobby's links down in the description, so if you want to go find Bobby's channel and subscribe, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it, and obviously you'll get to see what Bobby's got coming up next. Bushido, thanks for coming through. It's been a while. I've never seen you. I've never actually seen your face. So, I have to say, to be honest, it wasn't great, but... No, I have to say it's fantastic to actually see the man. So yeah, I mean, we've known each other for a very long time, man. I think since 2020 or 2021. It's been a long time. So it's fantastic to actually see you, man. So thanks for coming on again, short notice, and giving us your takes. Let people know where they can find you, what you should be up to, plans for the future.
Well, one thing I would like to get out the way real quick is I went through some procedure last year. At the hospital and a hard thing. And I know one person my wife had told me had called a couple of times, and it was Riskit. And I appreciate that. I just wanted to let everybody know that Riskit's a genuine guy, good guy. You can find me on the KY Bob Show. Yeah, no, thank you. The KY Bob Show on Wednesday nights at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Every other week we do game streaming. So one week we'll talk about whatever's going on. Then the next week we'll stream like we have been doing Helldivers, which has been a lot of fun, a lot of funny moments. Then also too, you catch me on Fridays from time to time on the Waste of Why show. That's another show that's on at 6:30 Eastern Standard Times. And I'm going to start streaming this little beauty right here is given to me about Palpatine. I don't think he's there anymore, but and no, Monad, I'm not 70. You're 75. But anyway, I'm gonna start streaming, and I'm used to streaming on Twitch where nobody's watching, so it doesn't bother me. But now I'm gonna start streaming on other formats, and now it's like, oh man, I'm gonna have some people watching type of thing. So I had to make sure my setup was done right, and it's still not. I'm not really happy with it still. But anyway, either way, that's about it.
That's the thing, man. You just get going and see how you go. That's what I did. I don't think I had much of a setup. I sort of had to build it as I went. And obviously, you have the technical problems and you have the other problems.
Mhm.
And it'll all work itself out. Yeah, I mean, Blue started with actually a pretty good setup, but it's evolved over time. She's got grass on the wall, so if she ever needs to touch grass, you just literally turn around for 1 second, touch it, then back to like playing whatever she's playing. Or she's Twitter. If she gets angry at something on Twitter, she just turn around and hold the wall for a bit. She's good.
There you go. I'm done.
Yeah, but thanks for coming through, guys. Really appreciate it. Holly, let people know where they can find you, what you're up to. And I didn't see that video, which is weird because it was actually popping up on my YouTube feed that you would make a video. Like it did it for, I think, 2. and then just stopped doing it again. So YouTube's a weird algorithm. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, again, I would say flick them to me, Holly, and I'll put them out there as well as watch them, because I miss them when you put them up, which sucks. Yeah, let people know where you find. And I'm gonna go watch that video, and I recommend that everyone go watch that video. I might even post it in the thing, because if the takes that you have today came out of that video, because I know with me, I'll like when I make it a video, I really think about stuff. So it seems like you've sort of really thought about everything top to bottom. So, and I agree with like most of what you said. So I'm going to go watch that video. I don't recommend everyone else does. And Holly, sorry, I'm still talking. You let everyone know where they can find you and blah, blah, shut up.
Yeah, I made that video like the day or two, like the day of or the day after. I just recorded my thoughts, realized I'd been muted the entire time. So there was 35 minutes of recording of just me talking with no voice. So then I redid it again, all in one take. And then I just, the editing is just me cutting out like the breathing, like your breathing and like mental reset in between. But anyway, so it's like 33 minutes of me just talking about the Xbox Game Pass price hike and what I thought about it, and comparing it, right, and a lot of the stuff you heard me say today, plus a little bit more. Anyway, so if you're interested, you could go check that out. I do live stream. I try to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week, just playing games. I'm going to be back, I think, tomorrow, and doing this month is spooky month. So I played Cabin Factory last weekend and got scared several times. So that video's up, but I think tomorrow I'm going to possibly start Amnesia, The Dark Descent, because one of my friends says that is the best horror game that they've ever played. So I think I might start that tomorrow. And I am going to try to do a couple spooky like co-op streams if I can get some people signed up for those. But also, just one more little thing is that you guys, we haven't forgotten, but remember our lovely community member who makes the coins, which are not going to... Are they going?
Oh yeah, the same coins. I was asking if you could turn it in some into PlayStation coins.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. I can't.
They
get
might
into
sell.
focus, but we are yeah, they might sell. They definitely will sell, but we are working on some new things, so I can't talk about it quite yet, but I just want to let everybody know that we're not gone. We're still here, we're still doing stuff, and we're ramping up for something new, something possibly a little bit more accessible for people. And also, if you want to subscribe and maybe pop into the live streams with me, I will be giving away some of our oldies but goodies on occasion. So never know when, but yeah. And then of course, watch your favorite content creators, like Colt, for example, who's in the chat, right? Or Boom, who have had coins given away in the past and still will. So thank you. That was a long outro. Sorry. A lot of stuff.
No, it was good. It's good. And I literally picked up a coin to show on my my side, but realized that my camera just shit itself. So and I dropped the coin.
I just heard it. Yeah.
But if you if you guys go head down the description, I'll have all those links in the description. You be able to go find everyone. And yeah, it's been a fantastic week. I've got to thank everyone in the chat. You guys have been absolutely amazing. It's actually a bigger turnout than I actually expected. I expected us to have like 10 or 15 people because we haven't been live for quite a while. There is still some changes happening with me, and I'm trying to work through how I'm going to manage to do the podcast every week. So stay tuned. We won't be live next week. We may do a pre-record. We'll see how things go. But then after that, I'll definitely have something set in stone. So the next show, you'll know for sure what we're going to do going forward. But yeah, so I apologize to everyone in the chat and you guys who come and support us every week that we haven't been going live. But we're not going anywhere. We will be here. And we will see you all in the next one.
I hope I say Game Set Live and not the Get Right Bob show because I'm good for that. Yeah, this game set live.
Copy that. Games Set Live. That'll be in the link in the description.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Grim